Okay, that is the Norfresso books. That's what I call them. The first one that was published was Oath of Swords.
Okay.
In which you meet Bazel and Brandark and whatnot. But actually, the first one that was written was The Sword of the South, which is the last one to come out. I submitted it to, well, no, I won't name her because that would be ugly. I submitted it to another publisher, and an editor who shall remain nameless rejected the book because, quote, it didn't have a credible villain, close quotes. I thought she was wrong then. I am absolutely positive that she was wrong now. But at any rate, the book was rejected. And then I got distracted. It was actually written before Insurrection. Okay, then I got distracted by real life. And then Steve White and I published Insurrection. And so I was going down that avenue. And I had not submitted this book to Bain. Well, it occurred to me, I should probably submit this book to Bain. And we couldn't find it anywhere. Remember that it was written before Insurrection. Okay, so it was on floppies, and I had a hardcover printout, a hard copy printout. Well, I have no idea what happened to the hard copy printout. The nannies were cleaning up, and they cleaned up the entire storage cabinet in which that manuscript was stored. And we're like, manuscript? We don't remember any manuscript. Okay, and I'm like, and the floppies disappeared as well. Now, these were the big, big floppies, all right? And there were two of them. So about, let's see, the book came out 4 years ago, I think. So about 18 months, 2 years before the book came out, one of the floppies turned up. I was like, well, damn, and it was in WordStar, CPM based. This big floppy disk. Okay. I was like, well, that's an interesting relic of the sheet metal age, kind of thing. So I just sort of put it in a file cabinet. And then about 8 or 9 months after that, the other floppy turned up in a totally different place. I mean, totally different box, totally different, kind of thing. And I was like, So I'm sitting here with these two floppies, which are like 20 plus years old. Okay. The media is not supposed to be good for that long. And it's in CPM using a software system that is basically now an archaic curio, So I went to an IT shop here in town. And I said, what the hell? I went to them and they said, well, we can try, but we'll have to order an $800 machine we don't have right now. Are you willing to pay the $800? I said, sure, go for it. They recovered every single word of the original file. Every single word. But they were not editable because every single line was a hard carriage return. Every line break. Okay? And you're going like, I don't think so, man. But you could print it out. Okay. So I told Tony what I had found, and she said, really? She said, send us the bill for the $800. I said, I'll do that, But what I did is I put the entire original manuscript back through the voice recognition software because I had done books that were set earlier in Bazel's life that had already come out. Oath of Swords, War God's Own, War Maid's Choice,
Okay.
So I had to allow for that in the new version of Sword of the South.
So you're able to change it kind of as you went.
Yeah, exactly. Revised it in light of the backstory that had been filled in. But aside from that, it's still very, very much the same book. Whole chunks of it are essentially exactly what they were. And I think it worked pretty well. But a few people said, well, this is kind of old-fashioned fantasy. And I'm like, there's a reason, kind of. This book was written 30 years ago. 32 years ago. But I need to finish that series up. There should be, in my original game plan, there were 5 books. The first book, Sword of the South, was actually less affected by some of the backstory than the subsequent books are going to be. I mean, I know that sounds strange, but some elements of it were, I worked my way through parts of the conceptual basis of the universe doing the earlier books. The later books that were earlier.
Chronologically earlier.
Yes, thank you. And Basel is actually a hugely important secondary character in some ways in these books. Less of a secondary than he was because of the way in which his character kind of grew and changed in the earlier books.